Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thanks for watching today. I wanted to show you what just came in the mail and I can't believe I did it again. Alright, so I have recently fallen hard and people have been talking about this for years and somehow I was a little deaf to hear it. I have fallen hard for Colourpop pressed shadows for years and I love them still. My heart was given 100% to the Super Shock shadows. That original Colourpop product that just blew my socks off. So, have a very large collection, more than 50 of those individual little pots. And then I realized when I started buying, I think this was, as I'm looking through this here, I think this was one of the first products, and this came out in 2018, this year. This is one of the first products that I remember going, you know what, yeah, I think I'm interested in that. This is Kathleen Light's Dream Street palette. And I liked the product, I liked the way that it wore, and then I got this in a BoxyCharm, and these are all shimmer shades, but they are glorious. And then this spring, somehow, I kind of fell in love with this. This is the Fame palette. It looks like this. Super cute. Part of their birthday month back in May, excuse me. And it's a cool toned, everyday neutral palette, which I love. And then Shayla came out with this Perception palette, and I was like, color, let me have it. I need that. And then, was it this fall? Was it September-ish? There was the Disney designer, It's a Princess Thing palette. And I have used this palette here basically nonstop since I got it. And I was looking back through my Instagram and I realized so many of those looks came from this palette. And when I fell hard for this, that's when, like 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, they had, in my memory, maybe I'm forgetting something, their first build your own palette sale. And because I had purchased or received all of these just this year, I was like, no, I don't need any Colourpop, I'm good. And then apparently I wasn't. And so what they did is they offer this palette here, which is super cute. It's a magnetic palette that you can individualize. And so I did. Now, I have since rearranged things. I'll show you. But the inside, it holds 24 of these little beautiful pans of gorgeousness. And for this and the 24 individuals on the inside, it was $44. And I was like, $44 for 24 shades, any one you want? Yes. Okay, so by the time I first ordered, this was beginning of October, maybe mid-October, I had told myself, no, you don't need another palette, you don't need another palette, you don't need any more singles. And then finally I was like, okay, fine. I got pushed over the hill. And at that point, there were so many that I already had, because I already had at least like 30 of the Colourpop singles. And I guess I hadn't been using them. I'd been using pre-made palettes. And in using the pre-made palettes from Colourpop, like these two are kind of like my favorites. These are the ones that really made me go, I need to re-look into maybe expanding my collection of Colourpop single press shadows that I don't have. And so by the time I went to do it, there were only 12 shades that I didn't have that were still available. A lot of things had already sold out. So I also included in this palette initially 3 full-size blushes. They have since been moved to a different, these weren't the original colors that came in this pan. Anyway, long story short, I pulled the trigger and I was so happy. And those 12 shadows that I had, and I think I had shown you in a previous video, which I will link above for you, I couldn't stop using. Like for the next 2 weeks, it was all that I used. That and the Princess Thing palette. And I was like, okay. And so last week, oh, Colourpop, I don't know how you do this to me. I love you and my pocketbook hates you. They did another build your own palette. And at this time, I was within the first, I think, 6 hours of the sale going on. So I built myself another one. And this one just came today. So I took everything out. And these are the colors I put in. Now, remember, I already have a lot of other shades. So these, you know, they're very warm over here and some really fun pops here. But the majority of my Colourpop is in this palette right here. There might be like 4 or 5 singles in here that might be from a different company, but most of this is Colourpop. And the way that I've used it is I've done them all in rows of 5. Because I find that if I just put them in a palette like lightest to darkest and color them by group like I used to arrange my crayons when I was a kid, I don't use them. So I sat down and it took me like 3 hours and I went through and I found groupings of 5. Ones that, you know, these 5 look good together, these 5 look good together. I'm wearing these guys today on my eyes. And I had this shade right here and I had never used it. This shade is called Rosé All Day, and it's a beautiful old gold with a green lean to it, and I paired it with this one, and then I have a gorgeous matte olive. That one's called Team Captain. I mean, and then this shimmer, oh, I love it. I also pulled in this one right here. I'm forgetting the name of this right now because I always have to pull it up and look at the bottom because there's so many of them. I will leave all the shades I used in this eye look down below. But here's what I can tell you. When Colourpop does a sale, I feel like I should just hand them my credit card and say, just send me everything, which is the wrong attitude. But what I love about these shades is they are ridiculously pigmented, they wear beautifully, and I've never done an olive green eye look. Never. And I have olive green shades and lots of them, and I just usually skip around because green is not like my, ooh, I want to do that. But when I put these all together, kind of like these go together and these go together and these go together, I've been newly inspired. Now, I'm not saying I'll never reach for some of these, you know, pre-made palettes. But right now, the 2 brands that are really knocking my socks off when it comes to formula for shadows, Colourpop is definitely one of them, like big time. And I told myself I can't buy any more eyeshadows for a long time, but Colourpop is one of them. The other one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I picked up the Norvina palette this summer, and then I just recently picked up the Sultry palette, and I feel like my jaw's on the floor. I had the Modern Renaissance. I don't reach for it, and I think it was mainly because those brighter berry tones in there were a little intimidating to me. I am just now starting to step into using more color, and I like the looks that I'm getting. So from somebody who was a dyed-in-the-wool neutral girl, you know, maybe a shimmer on the lid, a little something deeper in the crease, and some eyeliner. Like I used to maybe wear 2 or 3 shades at a time. Now I'm trying to incorporate more and more color. I'll just tell you, it's fun. And it's one of those things that I don't know how I got, you know, almost 30 years of wearing makeup and I never really wore fun colors. I was kind of like, wait, what? I was reach for those neutrals, those nudes, those easy colors that kind of blend away and it looks like you're just kind of like a more natural looking eye or a darker natural looking eye. But if you're interested in playing with color, with pops of color, things that really impress you, I can't tell you enough how great, even the brights from Colourpop, these are beautiful. And like this hot, I haven't even swatched it, but look at this bright pink here. Look at that. That's insane. This one, by the way, is called Sandbar. There are some really, really beautiful colors, bright colors. I know that right now there is kind of been and maybe I just haven't been aware of it, but I feel like there's a resurgence for color. Everybody is looking for color, maybe a neutral palette with a pop. There have been a lot of palettes that are going that way, and then full on jewel tone palettes, especially during this holiday season. So if you want to try something different, if you want to try something new, if you want to step out of your comfort zone, and I've been there and I loved it, by the way. They may stain, but you know, a good balm cleanser, oil cleanser should get it all off. I just think it's so much fun. So expect to see more bright or more defined eye looks here. And let me know, are you a neutral person? Do you lean more cool toned or warm toned? Or are you one of those people that you're like, what, you're just getting into brights? I've loved that, lived that life for like my entire makeup existence. Let me know down below. If you haven't already, would you please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.